But in most cases, using all is not the right choice for you guys, okay? Because you need to give enough privileges or grants to those that you think they need, okay? Not everybody should have the maximum power, okay? Let's talk about each individual. There are many different privileges available in MySQL. I'm going to give you some of them here, okay? The list is here, I have a long list. I'm going to write them for you. We have select, insert, update, delete, lock tables. I'm going to talk about lock tables a little bit later tonight, okay? Actually most of these privileges are self-explanatory. Select, it means you're allowing somebody to select something from a table or create a query. Insert, it means you're allowing somebody to insert into all tables or certain tables. Update the same, you're allowing somebody to update tables. Delete, you're allowing somebody to delete tables. And lock tables, it means you're allowing somebody to lock tables, okay? Locking the tables, or locking any table, in general means you do not let, for example, somebody write into a table, right? Or read from a table, okay? Why? Maybe for a security reason, you do not want somebody write to a table, okay? Or maybe you do not want your table actually get corrupted, right? When you are, let's say you have a table and I'm writing into it, and you do not want somebody else at the same time writes into that table, right? So otherwise some corruption is going to happen. So you're going to lock a table. As I mentioned, we're going to talk about locking and unlocking table a little bit later tonight. Okay? So let's continue the rest of the story. Actually, there's a very long list. I have the list here. I'm going to write them one by one. Create. Create table, okay? Create temporary. What's the difference between create table and create temporary table? Anybody?
Create permanent. Temporary, when you log off, is going to be deleted.
Exactly, exactly. When you create a table, that table is going to stay until you decide to delete that table, okay? Drop that table. But when you are creating a temporary table, when your job is finished, your job is completed, your job is done, temporary table automatically will be removed, will be deleted from the system, okay? This is really good, you don't have to worry about it. When the job is done, automatically this is gone, okay? As a result, as a result, we have two different privileges. One for creating a regular table, and the other one for creating a temporary table. Okay? Clear? Okay. Let's continue. Alter index. It means you could change the index of your table, right? Following. So create video. Show. Drop. Everybody knows what it means, right? Okay, dropping the table. Create view. It means everybody knows what view is. Okay, view is a sort of subset of a table, right? You have a table with many fields, and sometimes you do not. You want the result of your query when you're using select, such and such, for example. Being dumped or being directed to a file, not on a screen. Default is a screen, right? When you say select star from employee, everything will be displayed on a screen, right? But you don't want this happen. You want this output being redirected or being transferred or being copied to a file, okay? I'm going to discuss about this method of how to do that tonight, okay? But this is very important that you be able to transfer your query to a file, okay? Create user, we discussed about it last week, how to create account, right? Create user. Grant option. Do you remember I said one of the options that would make your regular account to a root account, powerful, very powerful account, is providing this. It means whoever has this power could grant somebody else, right? And finally, show databases. It means show all of the databases on the system. Maybe it's not a good idea that everybody knows all of those databases, okay? Okay. Process. What does that mean? What kind of privilege is that? Process. Later on, I'm going to discuss about how you control the MySQL processes, okay? By controlling MySQL processes, you are able to kill or eliminate some of the users at runtime. For example, let's say you want to do some backup job, okay, or some maintenance job, and you see there are a group of users currently logged into MySQL. You are sending them a message that please log off immediately because we are going for some backup job. But they don't listen to you. You come back, you see still they are there, okay? So at this time, what you need to do is force them to go out, right? It means you need to kill their processes, right? First of all, by having this privilege, you could see all of these processes first, okay? Okay? And after that, you might remove them, kill them, manipulate them, and stuff like that, okay? I'm going to show you how to do that a little bit later, okay? In order to kill them, you also need to have the super privilege. If you do not have a super privilege, you are not able to kill those processes. The process allowing you to look at them, but you need to have this power to kill or eradicate those processes as well, okay? Shut down. It means you'll be able to shut down the server, okay?
Is that one word or two words?
Shut down is one.
Okay.
I'm gonna connect them together like that. Okay, shut down. Okay, you're able to shut down MySQL if you have that. And of course, there are the list is very long, and our time does not let me to give you all privileges available in MySQL. But these are among the most important ones that we are using very often, okay? If you need to look at the rest of them, you could refer to a textbook, or you could Google it, see all of them, okay? But these are pretty much what we need to do in this course. Okay, by using grant, we are able to give grant, for example, process, comma, super to Abbas, such and such. If you want to remove these privileges, we are using revoke, okay? We are using the command revoke. For example, revoke process, comma, file from Abbas, right? Revoke this, comma, this from the user, okay? Let me give you an example. Revoke, for example, create, comma, process, okay, from Jalen 05 at localhost. Okay, semicolon. So by doing this, you are removing these two privileges from this guy, John Lennon. Okay? Normally, when you are using revoke, you need to specify privileges from what database, okay? Because sometimes you are giving privilege for certain databases, right? Not, or you're gonna give privileges for all databases, okay? But you'd better do that way. Revoke, let's say insert, comma update on star from Abbas at localhost, okay? This is better. By doing this, you're saying that insert and update privileges should be removed from this guy on all databases and all objects. Okay? It means this guy cannot do anything with anything.
So if you want to do it just one database, just put the name of database there.
Well, if you want to, for example, do it on certain database, you could specify the name of the database or names of the database. On the users, comma, this, you could specify databases one after each other, okay? Okay, so we discussed about that. If you want to know what data, actually, what grant somebody has, you could simply use show grants. Show grants gonna show all of the grants. For example, you log into MySQL and you want to see all of the grants that are given to you. Just type show grant and you're going to see all of the grants that you have, okay? By using show grants. Okay. Any question so far? Yes?
How can you show grants for a different user?
Show grants for such as others.
And are any MySQL DBs locked by default? Like,
Yes.
okay.
Okay, so we discussed about all of these. Okay, now let's go for sometimes when you are creating account for somebody, okay, for some reason you need to rename that account to something else. Okay, maybe your boss doesn't like didn't like the way that you create the account for somebody. He says, "Oh, rename it." Okay, following. I remember long time ago, somebody created an account for me under the name My Boss. So the account for me was My Boss. I didn't like that. I said, "Why you call it My Boss?" Change it to my name. My name is Abbas. So there are two ways to do that. One is, of course, you drop the account and create again, which is not a good idea. The other way is simply use the rename command, okay? Let me show you how to do that, okay? Okay. Rename. User from My Boss to Abbas. As simple as, okay? I want to give you one of the accounts that was created with the group of privileges. Looks very interesting to me. Let me write it down for you. Create user whatever the password is. This time I am using create user instead of grant, okay? Of course I could use grant, right? But there is a big difference between create user and grant. when you are using grant, as I have shown you before, grant such and such to such and such and so forth, you are creating account for that person, and also you're gonna give some privilege or privileges to that person, right? If you want to create account without any privilege at all whatsoever, just do it like that. Create user, such and such, identified by such and such, okay? So in this case, account is created, but that account has no privileges. So that user cannot do anything, okay? Anything. And of course, all of you guys know that identified by is optional. It means you could simply say create user such and such, put semicolon right over here. So account is created with no password, which I never ever recommend. Once the account is created, you could give any kind of privilege which you want. Okay. Okay. Let's go for grant. Grant. Select, comma, update, parenthesis, street, comma, city, comma, zip, comma, state, on mydb.member to good at localhost single quote semicolon. Okay. Let's see what that grant is doing. Okay. So you are giving two privileges: select and update. Okay. But for update, you do not want to give unconditional update. You are giving updates for certain fields, not all fields. So you're saying that select whatever select, but update should be only on street, city, zip code, and state on this, okay? So it means this person good is able to only select and update from
member
this
database.
table,
Base.
right? He is able to select everything from this table. There is no actually a restriction for select, but for update we put some restriction, okay? For update, he is able to update this and this and this and this field, these fields, not any other field. Okay? So when you are dealing or working with some sensitive kind of table, you need to make sure that you are not giving unconditional access or power or privilege to everybody, okay? Because it's going to cost you your stuff. Sometimes it's going to cost you your job, okay? So you need to be very, very careful about that. Okay. Let's see if I have missed anything. I think we have covered pretty much everything about whatever was supposed to do. Now, let's talk about the second homework assignment, okay? Before you guys get very tired and sleepy, cannot concentrate. Are you okay? Before getting tired or sleepy, let's talk about homework assignment number 2, okay? This homework assignment number 2 is based on the last subject that I covered, and the subject was account management. Do you remember we covered it last week? And still I discussed about it briefly tonight. Create account and good privilege and stuff like that, okay? So, what you want to do is you want to create a program, Java program or script in any language which you want. Shell script would be desired. It's very good because it's simple to do that. To create account and delete account. Okay, so we want to create script or scripts. It's up to you. Create one script or create two scripts. Okay, one for delete, one for create, or you could make one script that would do both jobs. Okay, it means one script that is able to delete the account and create it. Okay, clear? Now, we want to actually, if you are creating two scripts, okay, you could call your scripts as create ACCT, for example, create account, right, and delete account. Okay. Two scripts. One is deleting account, the other one is creating account. I'm going to explain it in a more detail for you guys. Or if you decide to use only one script, okay, that would do both jobs, as I normally do it myself, you could call it account ACCT MGR account manager. That's what I call my program. Account manager, okay? ACCT stands for account and underscore manager, okay? So that is responsible for management of account. Management of the account in this case would be creating accounts and deleting accounts, right? So our job in this homework assignment is creating a bunch of accounts and deleting a bunch of accounts, right? This is sort of a script that you as a DBA always need that. Because every day, especially in large companies, group of employees are leaving and you need to remove their accounts. Group of people are getting hired and you have, right? Understand? If your boss comes to you and tells you that we have created a new department, okay? And in this department we have now 400 new employees and you need to create 400 accounts for them, issuing the creation grant command or something would be very time consuming and laborious for you guys. Imagine all day long you have to sit there, all day long you have to sit at a terminal and do what? And create account, okay? And after that give grant, and so forth. But if you have made a script, all you need to do, just type the name of the command. Let's say you're going to type account management, account manager, or create account followed by some information, and relax. Everything automatically will be created for you, okay? So when I wanted to create accounts for all of you guys on Linux boxes, okay? 2 Linux boxes, copper and silver. I didn't do it manually for each one of you. I just ran the command which I made, and automatically accounts generated for all of you. Okay?
What kind of grant we have to
I'm going to
give?
talk about that. Okay? I just want to tell you how useful it is. Okay? So once you create this script, maybe you might keep it for your future. God knows what's going to happen. Maybe you're going to be hired somewhere as a DBA and take advantage. Okay?
Name of user send as argument.
I'm going to talk about that. How come we are so in rush? Okay? I have not gotten into that. Step by step, I'm going to get into that. Okay? So first of all, so now we decided what the name of the program would be. Okay? Either two programs or two scripts or one. Okay? Now, sometimes you want to create one account for somebody, two accounts for somebody. Okay? Let's say I want to create an account for John. I could simply say, let's go for this, okay? Let's go for create. I could say create account for John and Alex, okay? And right away, account for John and Alex create. As simple as, okay? Column, account for John and Alex, create. All you need to do, just put their names, their login, the account names, okay, or account IDs, whatever you want, and you create. Okay? But this approach is not very useful if you have too many names here, right? Let's say for 400 new employees that your boss has asked you for account, putting 400 items is not a good job, okay? So there should be another way to, so our create account is able to do it this way, right? And also should be able to do it that way. Dash F, followed by
File name.
a file name. Where file name has the names of all of the all of the people who need accounts, right? Let's say you have a file, this is a file. It's called a new employees. We have a file, it's called new employees, right? And we have John, Alex, David, Sam, and Jackson. Or maybe more. These are all new employees.
One
right?
name, one line.
Well, this is easier to put one per line. If you put it all of them on the same line, you need to break it down into, following me? Or if you, for example, put it on the same line using comma, it's going to be comma separated type of file, okay? But this is much easier to do that for this homework assignment, okay? Okay. So we assume that this is the format of our data. So by giving the name here, the name of our data file, the name of our file is, let's say, new EMP. So all you have to do is just type new EMP, and bingo, job is done. Pauline, that's it, job is done. As simple as this. Yes.
So in your script, you're gonna make it like a same password every time you run, or?
Well, I'm going to talk about that.
Oh.
I haven't talked about. You mean this one should have its own password?
Yeah, like inside you put just one password, or you gonna have option to put a password for that?
Okay, password. The password that you're talking about is password for this command or password for accounts that
For
you've
the accounts.
created. For account, I'm going to talk about that. Okay, in a moment. Okay. So the names of people who need account should be given either in a file like that, or should be given one after each other, okay? Now, one more thing. Let's say I have this, right? Is in a last moment, before you create account, your boss is calling you. He says, I have 2 more engineers to be added to this, okay? And those are called, for example, Goody and Nicey. Yes, I just made up something, okay? Please create account for them too. Following? So our program also should be able to do it. Understand? So what this line does is very important. This line creates accounts for all of these people, right? Plus for Goody and Nicey. Okay? So our script should be able to handle combination as well. Only names, only file name like that, or combination. Clear? This for the other combination. So far so good? Okay. Now, in order to make the job easier for us, we need to create the initial password for everybody. Initial password for everybody would be change me. So change me would be initial password. And later on, each user is going to change his or her own password. This is the way that I did it for you guys, right? Okay, so the initial password is change. So you don't have to worry about that, okay? Change. Okay? Yes.
So that was my question. Is that you have to make an option to put the password or just put
No,
like
no. You just, there is no option here.
Okay, just put
It's
pick
hard-coded to change me
constant.
for everybody.
Okay.
For all of these accounts, okay? And when the user is going to receive his account, as you guys did, very easily you could go and change the password to whatever, okay? Okay? So change me makes the job much easier. So far so good? Okay. This was for account creation, okay? For delete account, the same thing, okay? So you have delete account. Okay? Delete account would be, for example, you could say Jack and Sue and Alex and David. It means you want to delete these guys. Okay. Pardon? Or you want to delete all of these guys. All of them. You're going to say -F followed by, for example, new employee, whatever the name is. Okay, any file name. Okay. Or combination. Let's say junk1, junk2. You have created a couple of junk accounts and now you want it to be. Okay?
Option file will go every time first?
Well, if you want to follow the tradition of Unix and Linux and Mac, all of the options show at the beginning and the rest at the end, okay? So it means at the beginning we have option or options, and at the end we have what? Whatever is left, okay?
So second junk one can't be file.
Yes, This is not a file anymore.
Yeah,
This is
I understand,
user.
I understand. So I can use name of two files.
You cannot. You
Only
can-
one
Only
file.
one file, okay? You could always make it very complicated too, right? But this course is not a shell scripting course. This course is database administration course. So we want to make it as simple as possible, okay? So it means -f follows by only one file name, right? And the rest of them would be account names that should be okay? Clear? And again, to make our job easier, options are at the beginning of the command, and the rest of them would be no option, okay? The way that I made, combine this to, for example, you might move this at the beginning, move this at the end, flexibility, but I made it, for you guys, I made it very easy, okay? There is a very simple rule in software engineering and programming. And that rule is this, guys. The harder the job for the programmer, the easier the job for the user. Or vice versa. Easier job for the programmer, harder for the user, okay? If you really make hard time for yourself as a programmer and try to make very flexible program, of course it would be ideal that, for example, these could be at the beginning or at the end. You should be able to, or you could be able to allow more than one file names for -f option and many other things. But imagine, how complicated your coding would be, right? Okay? Users are happy, maybe programmers are not, or vice versa, okay? So whenever you are working with a lousy program, many of them are available in the market, on the internet, they're really lousy. Right away, you should know what kind of programmer or programmers have made that, okay? Because sometimes the programs that we are creating show something about ourselves, okay? Show something about the characteristics of the programmer or programmers, okay? Or the company that programmer is working in, right? Understand? So, did I answer your question? Okay. Anybody has any comment or question about account, the create account and delete account before we continue with the rest of this subject? Okay, again, as I told you, we could combine them together. But if you want to combine them together, as I did, the problem would be a little bit, you need to think about it, okay? Let me show you how to do it. Let's say we don't want to use two different programs. We want to write one program, because almost pretty much everything is the same, except instead of create account, you delete account, right? But the rest of the jobs are the same, right? So one might think, okay, why should I write two programs? I can write one program and make my job easier. Okay, let's do it. ACCTMGR. Now, how does this program know that you argue, accept, right? Accept. It means you need to add some new arguments, right? What if I do it like that? Dash
C.
C for create,
And actually,
followed by dash F, new file, new employee, and it means what? Create, right? What if I say
that's the
dash D, right? Okay, so that is solution 2, okay? All right, so it's totally up to you to to make one command or make two commands. Okay? Now, let's go back to our continuation of this subject. I have made a file for you guys. This file is a text file, very simple file. The name of the file is fruits. Fruit. Apple, pear, fig, grapes, stuff like that. This file is called, it looks like that, okay? Let me show you. This file looks like this. It's called fruits, located in a public directory on Hills. On Hills, located in public directory on Hills, okay? And it has some fruits like that, apple, pear, cherry, for example, fig, melon, and so, okay? Pollen. So you could use this file as a data file when you create account, okay? Pollen, clear? But we are going to have some minor problem to do this, okay? It means we're gonna encounter some minor problem. Before I talk about that minor problem, if I forget, please remind me what was the minor problem, okay? I tell you. But we're going to encounter some minor problem, but I want to deviate from that in a moment before I discuss about that problem. When you are creating account or deleting account, let's say you want to create these items or these items, but what if already Goody was created? What if Nicey was there? What if Sam was there? Okay? What does your program do? Recreate? Of course not, right? So if the account is there, your program should not
Touch it.
create it. It's there, right? Skip over it. No error message, nothing. Okay? Just skip over it, go to the next one and next one and next one. So if the account is already there, no error. Go to the next one and next one and next one and next one, right?
You don't have to send message about
No, you
double
don't need
account.
to. No, you don't have to. All you need is, if John is there, forget about it. Go to Alex. If Alex is there, go to David. Okay. So you don't have to display any error message. Something. Go to the next one and next one. Okay. Paula, this is one thing that we need to do. Okay. Now, understand? Okay. When you are deleting the same, let's say you are what? You are deleting an account. Let's say you want to delete Goody or Nicey or Alex. What if account doesn't exist? You want to delete that? Account doesn't exist. How are you going to delete that? Right? Follow me? Account doesn't exist. You cannot delete that, right? So in this case, what should we do?
Try to delete
Cannot
it.
delete that, right?
And continue.
Okay. When a DBA is creating a bunch of accounts, or DBA deleting a bunch of accounts, normally when the job is done, DBA likes to see a listing of all of the accounts which are created or all of the accounts which are deleted, right? So it means when I am writing this, when I'm writing create account such and such, at the end, I'm going to get something like that. For example, user Goody password change user Alex change this or something like that. If you do not like the format of this, you could change it. But the point is, our program or programs need to display the listing of all of those users that are created account for, or those users who are gone forever. It means the accounts are deleted, right?
Have I show users which I don't create account, which already created?
Well, when I get this output, okay, for this list, I say only 2 of them are created, right? It means what? The rest of them are already
There.
there. So it means looking at this will tell me account is created for what percent, for that's it. So so again, you do not need to display error message something that
So
account is not
I
created.
have show on the user table.
Exactly. How? Let's say you want to create an account, right? You're going to pick this guy, John. You want to create an account. It's very easy. Grant such and such to John, okay? But right now, how do you know if John was already created or not? It means if John has an account or not. If John does not have an account, you should create an account for, right? How are you going to find out?
Use the if not exist.
What? Select what? Do you remember?
Create if not exist.
What was your homework assignment number 1? What was it?
Show users.
Show users. What was show users do? Show users. Show all of users. Right? So this is possible that you use show users in your program, right? When you're creating. So you're running what? Show users. You're going to get a list, right? If Alex or John is in that list, it means what? You should not create. It's already there. If it is not there, create it. Following? Right? So what I do is this. I'm going to loop over show users, okay? Like that. Okay? Let me show you how you could do that. You could say for user in $, show users. This is your loop in shell script, right? That simply means run show users, get the output, right? So don't create it, right? If the user, if John is one of these, don't create it. So this is very easy way to do that, okay? So my point is show users lists, or it gives you a listing of all of the users. Why not use them in your program, right? Understand? You don't need to, again, write some other lines of code to list the users, show users does. Good job. Yeah.
So that command create if not exist is not available to create user.
If that command is what?
Create if not exist.
If create, well, oh, you want to do it that way? If create, let me see.
Because for table I know I can do that.
We don't
but
have.
what about that? Because you create a table if it does not exist, if it does not exist.
I'm thinking about if that
As a
not
for user.
exists, actually exists in the create command.
I thought there was something about create explicit users where it wouldn't create it if it already exists. So it would, I don't know if it maybe for create, I know if show, like when I was showing users, there's 2 routes, but you can show explicit users and you only sort it uniquely. I don't know if that translates to create though.
Well, I have done this several times. I know what you're talking about, but I just want to I don't, my point is, I do not want to give you some more clues than is necessary, because this is a homework assignment, right? That's what I'm trying to control my tongue, and do not say more than whatever I'm supposed to say. But anyway, you know that I just leave it to you guys. The point is, if account is already created, do not recreate the account, right? And in the same way, when you want to delete, if account already exists, delete that. If account is not already exist, any attempt or any try to delete the account is gonna cause a problem, right? Okay? So, it's up to you to find out.
How about if you create like accounts for these two guys, one is okay, and the other one we already have the existing account for him. So we just create one account, and the other one, do we need to
I don't understand. You create one account for.
So like step one, we create accounts for both Goody and Nicey. How about if we already have Nicey in our system?
So
And
we don't create any.
do we need to provide like create a message indicating that we already have it?
Well, that's what the Oksana said. If you guys really persisting on displaying error message or warning that account already created or account already there, that's fine. I said being silent is okay too, but if she likes it or she likes it or you like it, why not display error message warning that account is already there? And vice versa, when you are trying to delete account, you could display a message that no such account, right? So you cannot delete it. Understand what I'm talking about? Okay, now, all of the accounts that we are creating are for local host. So you don't have to worry about anything else, okay? Okay, local. And the privilege that you're gonna give to your account, let's make them all just for simplicity, okay? Grant all on such and such, okay? Just for simplicity, you don't have to worry about selecting which one is for what or something, okay?
You can use just create user.
Or you could create this, you could do this and do not give any grant, right? You could do this without any grant and account is created, you don't have to worry about it, okay? So because the purpose is to create account, okay? We learn. After that, once accounts are created, you could give any kind of grant if you want or revoke any grant which you want from, okay? It really doesn't matter, okay? Clear? So this is your homework assignment, but you especially read tell. First of all, let's say this, right? Oksana is gonna create this gentleman. Once they create account, but already all created by Abbas. So he cannot create anything, right? Following? So what should we do? This is the problem, right? So we discussed about this with the department, and we decided to and the resolve and the resolution is this, okay? I'm gonna go and give a number to you guys, okay? Give a number to you guys, assigning a number based on your. Okay. I'm going to give you a number. So when you have created, let's say for example, Adriano got 5. So you're going to create apple 5, pear 5, a cherry 5, a fig 5, and melon 5, okay? Let's say she is 3. She's going to create apple 3, pear 3, and so forth, right? So by doing this, we are able to make distinction between your account and his account and her account and so forth, right? Okay, I give you the number and we go for it, right? Okay. For Patrick, who is missing, I assigned him number 1, okay? For Dong Myung, I give you 2, okay? For Adriano, I give you 3. For Irina, I give you 4, okay? For Chi Wai Chan, I give 5. For Jia Yu Chen, I give 6, okay? For Edgardo, 7. For James Fowler, 8. For Stephen Hada, 9. For Jeffrey Henry, 10. For Fontaine Lam, 11. For Wayne Lam, 12. For John B. Lee, 13. For Macmillan is here, 14. Oksana, 15. Pratip, I think Pratip is here, yes. Then you're going to have 16. And Kathleen Wen is here, 17. And Fee and Woon W-N is here. Okay, yes. You're going to get 18. And finally, Yuen Sui Yin is going to be 19, okay? And Abbas, 20, myself, right? I put 20 for both, right? Okay? So, now you got your number, right? Very easily, you could append that number to whatever you get from here and create account, okay? And very easily, you could delete. We could delete whatever belongs to you by using very simple regular expression. You could say delete all of the stuff that, very easily you could delete it, okay? But be very careful when you are creating account, especially when you are deleting account. If your program does not work properly, or if your program is malfunctioning, the result is catastrophic. It means you're going to delete all of the accounts. All of that. It means nothing is left on the system, right? And the worst thing is, you see your program is not working on one machine, you're going to transfer the same program in another machine, and you make the same mistake. So both machines, both of these machines are gone. Following? So you need to be very careful. The way that it is, let me show you how I normally do that. Deleting account is simply very easy. You could say you could say drop, right? Drop such and such. I comment out the drop command in my script. I do not use drop, okay? Instead of drop, I'm going to display the username and whatever to see if I am dropping the right person or not. Understand what I'm talking about? So I do not use drop command at all. In place of it, I just use print or echo user ID is this, right? And run the program. If the program gives me the right user IDs, very cautiously, I change that to drop, okay? Because to do it, you're gonna be root, right? And root has maximum power. One mistake in your script is gonna cause a lot of problems, okay?
So have we ask yes or no for delete?
Well, that is not a good idea. Do you know why? Because let's say if your boss comes to you and say, I have 450 users to be deleted, all day long you have to say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, like that. And leave it out, shake the hand. So this is not a good idea, right? Delete, right? But you need to be careful. Again, before using drop command, okay? Just for test, echo something to see if you are getting the right result. After that, later on you could change. Clear? Okay? Guys, do for that next week. Week from programs are pretty simple. And if you have a question, let me know, and I'm going to help you as much as you want. You have a question?
Yes. Is there any way to make a backup of the database?
Backup. Well, tonight I'm going to discuss about backup right after the break.
Just in case
Talk
make a
about
mistake, we can.
So, very easily we could make a backup of a database, right? Okay, and bring it back. We could do that, but you know, anyway, in this kind of scripting, we have to be very cautious, right? Not relying. Okay, we have a backup. Don't worry about it. I destroy everything, right? Understand what I'm talking about? But we're going to make a backup. Actually, I'm going to make a backup, or somebody's going to make a backup before doing that. I'm going to show you how to do the backup, and after that, we could.
So we have to log in as root to run this.
Well, if you remember, I wrote a script for you. MySQL is using root. So, yes, because without root, you cannot create account or delete account, okay? And that is causing a problem too. Now, before going to break, we have about 4 minutes to go to break, I want to tell you something. Normally, whenever we are writing scripts or programs like that, that would be potentially dangerous in the hands of bad guys, okay? It means if somebody accesses this program or this program, could delete everybody, right? Or creates 1 million accounts and crash the system, right? So normally these commands should have smart enough, or should be smart enough, or should have some kind of smartness to find out if you are the right person or not, okay? So in your opinion, who should be able to run this or run that? Root. What does root mean? It means somebody who has logged in to the server as a root, right? Or has logged in the server as MySQL. You remember we created a MySQL account at the beginning and created MySQL group, right? So if somebody has logged in to the server as MySQL, is okay. Or somebody has logged in to the server as root, is okay, right? But how your commands would verify you? Because whoever runs this command is going to run it, right? But how the command is going to find out if you are root or not, if you are a MySQL or not?
We have delete means by manager.
Let me show you how I do that. Yes.
To the ch mode and the sudo ch mode.
No. Let me show you a very simple approach to do that, okay? In all of my scripts which I'm writing, all of them, because all of the scripts that we are writing are kind of sensitive scripts, right? And should not be given in the hands of bad guys, right? Only DBAs or root or somebody should be able to use it, okay? So let me show you how to do that. I have a method like that, function like that. The name of my function is RURoot, okay? Okay? And RURoot returns true if the user is root. Otherwise, returns what?
False.
Okay? So, you guys do it like that. ID x equal ID ID is a command in Unix, Linux, and Mac that would give you the ID of a user, who you are. If you are root, it means you are root. So when you are using, when you are typing ID command in Unix, Linux, and Mac, the result would be something like that. Okay. So I am running ID and looking for parentheses, root parentheses. Okay. Okay. Two things would happen. X would be empty, or X would have information about the roots, right? So I will check this. If okay, how can I check if a variable is empty or not?
Dash Z or?
Dash Z means empty, dash N means not empty. Okay? Very easy you could say. I could say if dash Z followed by $X. That means what? If this guy is empty, right? Then
Return false.
it means this is false. We cannot say return. We should say echo false.
Echo false.
Because return doesn't do that job for us.
Yeah.
Okay? Echo, let's say false. Okay? Else, echo and 5 here. Now, this is my script, right? This is my function I made. You could make it better if you want. There are many ways you could make it better, okay? I just made it in a very simple approach because I am not sure if the level of shell scripting among students here is high level, right? So I just made it in a way that even my grandma would follow that, okay? Okay? So, now, you're gonna put this in your create account for DBA, okay? At the beginning, you're gonna do it like that. If $, are you root, it means you're running that, okay? Equal false, then echo you need to root exit 1 and okay. So before your program starts, you're going to check if you are root. If you are not root, error message, you should be root and exit. Otherwise, you are okay, program continues, right? So it's like a, this is like a, for example, a safety valve in your program that would not let bad guys or non-privileged users run such a sensitive program. Okay? So at the beginning of the script, you could add this. And after right underneath of it, before the program starts, you could call it. You're running this, and if it is false, then error message, exit, otherwise, fine. Okay?
So we have to log in as root to check out.
Exactly. In this, if you do it like that, you need to log in this as what? Root. Okay? When I am testing, I don't want to be root. I don't want to. I can just log in as myself and run the script, because our script automatically is gonna run as root, right? So this is for the last part when program is made and you wanna give it. So at the beginning, I comment everything out, okay? I don't need to even have these when I'm testing my program around. When my script finished and I want to install it, I'm going to add these lines to make sure that nobody is able to run the script, okay? Even you do not need to have this in our in this course, because this is just educational, right? Educational environment is different from outside world. Outside world is rough, very rough, okay? Guys, some of you need coffee, fresh air. Let's go outside, enjoy. 10 minutes, come back. I need energy from you guys, right? Okay? And come back. Okay?
Abbas, I have to show you something.